Hey sickos, and welcome to a brand new podcast. Today is a special podcast relating to Takashi Miike. Now, a lot of the times you do see Mr. Takashi with two names, Takashi Miike and Miike Takashi. Just for reference, his birth name, for those that don't know, is Miike Takashi. So, I'm going to call him during the duration of this podcast as Mr. Miike. I hope he doesn't mind. But to begin with, for those that don't know who Mr. Miike is, well, he's a fantastic producer, director, screenwriter, and actor. For those that don't know, his directing career has spanned 32 years with, let me tell you, a bunch of movies, films, but it's 109, so 109 films, music videos, TV series, and documentaries. He's one experienced guy, isn't he? Let me tell you, I think the most well-known movies Mr. Miike are from is probably Audition from 1999, which we're going to be talking about specifically today. Dead or Alive, again in 1999, Visitor Q and Ichi the Killer, both from 2001. One Missed Call from 2003 and Imprint from 2006. Now, for those of you who don't know, I love anything Japanese. I want to venture to Japan one day myself, and hopefully next year. All of my future tattoos are going to be inspired by Japan. The people seem really friendly, and I work in a beauty store, and a few Japanese people have visited us at that store, and I can't speak highly enough of the people or Japan itself. So knowing that one of my favorite directors of all time is Japanese, it makes all the more better for me, really. But now when talking about Mr. Miike, the first movie which I talk about to anyone the most is Audition. Now, why is Audition one of my favorite movies, you might ask? Well, let me tell you, firstly, the whole movie is beautifully made. The acting is like no other. The effects are really, really good. And the main character, Ryo, if that's how you pronounce his name, please do forgive me if I butchered that, is very likable. His relationship with his son is very warming to watch and grow on screen. But not forgetting the beginning of the movie, the main actor's wife and mum to his son, something happens to her. Now, with this movie, you get an instant idea of how the movie starts, so you get a good head start, if you will. So you get a good start of the storyline, really. So Mr. Miike does a fantastic job at capturing the most saddest moments, happy moments, and even heart-wrenching moments without even any word from his actors. You know, it's just the way they act on screen which makes it so nice to watch. But you could actually get away by saying that if Mr. Miike was to make a whole movie without any speech whatsoever, it would still come off beautifully made. And that is the beauty of Audition, and that is most certainly the beauty of Mr. Miike. I tell my audience about a film, but I don't give away anything such as the gory details if I can help it. But at the end of the day, directors such as Mr. Miike deserve the credit, they deserve the purchase, all because these directors, especially Mr. Miike, put all of their hard work, blood, sweat and tears into the movies. So it wouldn't be fair on him, the actors or even the audience if I just give the whole movie away. But now back to the movie. We have a father, a son. The mum at the beginning is mentioned. I'm going to say it passes away, but that's all I'm going to give away with that. So the son is brought up by his father. We move very quickly to present day, and the son has a conversation with his father about him overworking and thinks it would be a great idea and better for his father if he meets a new woman that he can settle down with. Now, the father has a really good think about it, humming and hawing to begin with, but then mentions it to his colleague. A work colleague of his, he thinks it's a good idea, and they both conjure up a brilliant idea to host a fake audition to bring in ladies for a lead role of a movie that they're going to pretend to make, when in fact it's to find a perfect partner for our main father character. So, skipping forward to the auditions, all of these ladies turn up and he passes a lot of them, but only one of them in particular auditions and he's captured by her and pays more attention to her than the others. That goes on for a little while, so that bit might be boring to some people, it just depends. But I think it all adds to the whole film, if you ask me. But skipping to the evening time, he's sitting in his home office and he's going through all of the applicants' files with pictures attached to find the lady he was most interested in. Now, he thinks and thinks about her and then he gives her a call. Now, this woman will later turn out to be the woman of his nightmares. That's all I'm going to say. This woman has a darker side than she gives away, and in the beginning, she plays off as an innocent, sweet wannabe actress, which we will find out she's not. After a few meets with this woman, our main father character feels like there is something off with this woman. Just something just does not add up. I mean, firstly, after a second date with this woman, she doesn't allow him to drop her off outside of her home, and his expression gives off a confused but accepting look like, I don't get this, but okay then. And secondly, during this inquisitive stage he's going through, he finds out some not so innocent information that sets the tone for him throughout the whole of the rest of this film, and it just gets worse for him, as we will later find out. But now, as always, I want to tell you guys that I can't stress enough how much I love this movie. You grow a love for the main guy pretty quickly, and again, if you've seen this film, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that there's quite a few moments in this film where a lot of people can relate to them. But if you've seen Audition, let me know in the comments. If you haven't, go and check it out. This is the movie that everybody should have in their collection, in my opinion. Now, I know this review was a short but sweet movie review, but I can't really go into too much detail with Takashi Miike's Audition, because I kind of feel like if I give anything away, it will give the movie away, and I don't really want to do that because, like I said before, he deserves the watch and the purchase. So, yeah, so now that you know me on that level, with like interviews and everything like that, if you've heard all my other podcasts before on Spotify, you will know I love to interview different people and ask loads of different questions. Well, I would love to interview Takashi Miike for sure in the future, so I'm going to try and make that a thing. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, please hit the subscribe button. But yeah, until next time, I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and I will see you next time. Bye, sickos.